Good to go? Awesome. Not too much. Thank you for joining us. We will get started with a question for you from Sarah Spencer.
Hey Lloyd, are Trey or Anyeka available?
O is out. Trey is in.
How does it change things for you guys tonight with DeAndre Hunter out?
Hold on 1 second.
Okay. I just asked how it changes things with DeAndre Hunter out tonight. Does it change how you approach the game at all?
No, I'm used to guys being out.
Mark Medina.
Hey, sorry about that. Hey, Lloyd, hope you're hanging in there. Just a different topic here. What do you think when you're looking at the diversity and head coaching ranks, front office, ownership in the NBA? What do you think it's going to take to improve that?
How long do we have? It's not a simple question, really. And I've said this before. There's 30 teams that organize that work as independent organizations, and I think when you on the outside you look at the number of head coaches or the number of GMs or the number in ownership, but there are 30 different organizations that represent this league. So it's a much bigger issue than our league and the 30 independent organizations. I think if we see a diverse country in terms of all the different sectors and positions of leadership, that means there are some legal changes with regards to education and access and opportunity. But I don't know if that's going to change in the NBA specifically without it changing in our country as a whole. It's a much bigger question than, hire more black coaches. That doesn't solve what we're looking for. There's a lot of things that need to go into that.
Kyle Boone.
Hey Lloyd, long time since we guys in LA have been able to talk to you. I know in that time there's been obviously some very dramatic political and electoral developments in Georgia. And I know you did some work on that, but I also believe that you worked with LeBron's More Than a Vote on that. I was wondering what you kind of saw from More Than a Vote and LeBron on that front of getting out the vote in Georgia.
Well, I think there were a number of organizations during that time for the primary and obviously in the runoffs that were voter education focused, voter participation focused, and because of Georgia, because of the state of Georgia and the importance of this state during both elections, a lot of people were reaching out of what they could do to help impact the elections here in Georgia. So More Than a Vote had a very specific focus with regards to getting athletes involved. Because of my involvement here with the team and the organization, I think I was asked to be a part of it in a couple different areas. But I think the involvement was strong because of the athletes, not just in the NBA, but some of the NFL players and WNBA players that were involved in More Than a Vote, and their ability to campaign and market as strong as they did really influenced a lot of areas. They were able to work with a lot of the teams and getting some of their stadiums and arenas opened up, but really getting the word out and campaigning was important. So, that was the direct connection with myself and More Than a Vote.
Chris Kirchner.
Cam has said before, and I know you've said it before, how he has all defensive potential. What do you think is the next step of his growth to, possibly get there one day?
Well, I think for Cam in general, and I've talked about it, the details, being able to slow the game down for him offensively has been an area we've talked about. But I think defensively, being able to see the game in terms of what the opponent is preparing to do, looking to do, or likes to do. That's what we mean when we say, study tendencies, study sets, and know what our game plan or our coverage is. When he gets to the point where he knows and he can anticipate play calls, the action, and put himself in an advantageous position to defend that set or defend that person, I think that's going to help him a lot. He's got to play with more discipline. One of his strengths is his ability to play in passing lanes and get his hands on the basketball. One of his weaknesses is to play in passing lanes and get his hands on the basketball, because if you get burned, you get beat. And it's a fine line of being a defensive playmaker and gambling. And so I think some of that comes with game preparation, opponent preparation, where when to take that gamble and how to take that gamble. And that's just being more a student of the game.
Edwin Powell.
Coach, the Lakers are one of the better teams in the league defensively. Outside of just having AD, what do they do so well as a team defensively to make them successful?
A lot. I think they have active, engaged, physical perimeter defenders, and Alex Caruso and Caldwell Pope. Schroeder does a great job of pounding the basketball for 94 feet and speeding up the opposing point guards. Obviously, LeBron in passing lanes, and as a shot blocker, he's taken charges more so in the last couple of years than probably in the previous part of his career. And then the underrated side of Marc Gasol, and I mentioned it yesterday, he was a defensive player of the year in this league. And so I know he's not a heavy and high minute guy, but he is a cerebral and positional defender. And so when you combine all of that, plus the championship caliber team, you get proper rotations, you get aggression on the basketball, and you get help down the floor. And so, they've weathered every storm, they've been through every situation, and they're playing well as a unit, and that helps your defense when you can play well as a unit.
Jamila Johnson.
Hey, Coach, sorry if I missed it, but who are your starters for tonight?
The same, Kevin, Cam, or I guess it's different with Dre out. Cam is inserted in for D Hunt, John, and Clint and Trey.
Any final questions for Coach Pierce? There are currently no hands raised. All right, Coach, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Okay, everybody, we'll see y'all post.